Good morning. Welcome to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at
the fabulous Arizona Center.
So in full transparency, because we talk about awkward and uncomfortable things all the time, I am having hot flashes like crazy today. So if you see me just spontaneously combust, that is why. Or going like this.
I was like, do we have a fire, not a fire hydrant.
A fire hydrant.
An extinguisher, in case you do spontaneously combust, which cool you down.
Have you ever been sprayed with one of those?
I've not.
Does it hurt?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. You just said you haven't.
I'm going to say, but I know a way we could find out.
No, we're not.
We'll put you outside because that dust.
That's what we have interns for, Marshall.
Nice.
Dylan's face was like, I quit.
No.
Anyway, happy Monday. Hello.
Indeed. Happy Monday to everybody out there.
Yes.
Hope you had a good weekend.
You look like you had to think about if you had.
Well, no, because I'm like, no. It's like the next few weeks are just kind of crazy with lots of good stuff.
It's funny because I feel like a lot of times in the summer in Arizona, things really slow down. People kind of like hibernate, go away from the heat, but things are like popping right now.
I've noticed, especially like last year, it was kind of like during COVID, things kind of quieted down, but then it's like last year it was like boom.
Yeah.
I mean, and now it's back with a vengeance. I mean.
Okay, well, we would be remiss to go any further without saying today.
Oh, that's right, because it is 602 Day.
602 Day. Happy 602 Day.
That's right.
At 5 p.m., you can come on down to the Arizona Center at the building at 400 East Van Buren.
On the 11th
floor. Because it's behind us, not that you know that.
I'll point over there. Because it makes no difference.
I know. Does it matter?
It doesn't matter which way we point.
Alice in Wonderland. But we're going to be on the 11th floor, which has 360 views of the entire city. It's stunning up there. We're going to have 30 plus vendors, a DJ, bands, performers.
So much fun stuff going on.
Yep. Marshall's going to be doing some history tours.
Yeah.
I'll be running around interviewing people.
So it's going to be a great day. So you want to come out. There's going to be all kinds of things happening out the valley, but we want you to come and spend some time with us.
Yeah, and in fact, there's over 250 businesses that registered to celebrate 602 Day. So what that means, if you don't know, is a lot of them are having specials or deals, and it can be retail places, restaurants, all sorts of different things. So if you want to see, you can go actually on the City of Phoenix, Phoenix's website, 602day.com, and check out who's participating. I don't know if we're on the map or not. If
we are on the map.
We did make it.
Yeah, no, it's actually, Zach sent me the little screenshot of like, here you are in the map.
But come on out to see us.
I mean, come see us. There's going to be so much going on throughout the valley. A lot of it's going on during the day. So.
It is, yeah. And then we'll be in AC, which is great because it's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. And we'll be having a hot time up on the 11th floor.
Gonna be a fire.
I mean, we got music, we got dance, we got puppets, we got vendors.
Oh yeah, puppets, and they're not just any puppets; they're giant puppets.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's Arco's fine. I mean, Cultural Coalition's gonna be there with some of the puppets, and we actually measure to make sure they will fit and not hit the.
Oh, you did
sprinklers.
measure?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because we were thinking about just doing them in the lobby because they were so tall.
Right, but nope, they will be. They're able to get up there and not hit the sprinklers.
Well, that's nice.
Indeed.
Oh, good. We got really lectured about the sprinklers. Nobody touched those sprinklers.
Exactly. So no one's touching the sprinklers.
No touchy.
No.
Okay, Marshall, I'm ready for my most favorite thing of the entire day.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're the one that brought it up.
I want to get it over with.
Kind of like that Band-Aid?
Yeah.
All right, and just like that Band-Aid, rip away.
Rippity rip?
Indeed. All right, our word of the day is brackish. Somewhat salty. Not appealing to the taste. Repulsive.
Oh.
All right, so their sentence is, the species of fish prefers the brackish waters of the estuary.
Of course they do. Of course
Which
they
was,
do.
I mean, it was like a perfectly good sentence until you get to the last where it's like, yeah.
What is the word?
Brackish.
Brackish.
So somewhat, it's like, it's like
You're
some people.
somewhat salty. You could be a little brackish.
Well, and so, some people are brackish.
Yeah.
I mean.
You're a fun brackish, though.
No, I'm a fun salty. Aw. kind of like that umami, a little salty and sweet.
Ooh.
As I just popped out of my
right out of your
exactly.
ear.
So there you go.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break while Marshall puts himself back together.
Exactly.
And we'll be back with our guests and a fun Monday episode for y'all.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at the
Fabulous Arizona Center.
And we are joined this morning by Callie from NRCHA. Did I get
ma'am.
all the letters?
You did.
Okay,
Good
what
job.
does that stand for?
So it stands for the National Reined Cow Horse Association. So we are a organization, kind of if you think of like NFL is for football, we do the exact same thing for the sport of reined cow horse. It is very similar to a triathlon if you're used to that. So our horses and riders compete through 3 different events.
Oh, wow.
And then they get scores for each of those events and then combine them all together, and that determines who our champion is.
What are the events? What do they do?
So we have 3 events. It's going to call the reined work, the herd work, and what we call the fence work. So herd work, very similar to very traditional cowboy from the ranch. You've got a herd of cattle. You have 2.5 minutes to separate a cow from that herd and show how well your horse can control that cow away from the herd.
Oh, okay.
Reined work is very similar to figure skating. So these horses are given a pattern, the riders and the horses, and they have to compete a series of maneuvers to the best of their ability. So
Okay.
you're going to see horses that are going to run really, really fast, slide really, really far in the dirt. They'll spin really quickly around their hind end, run really fast circles, go really slow. So it's a lot of precision in that event.
Okay.
And then our crown jewel is the fence work. And so that is going to be the most electrifying part of the event. There's going to be a horse and rider turned out into the arena with a single cow, and they have to be able to completely maneuver that cow at a very range of speeds. So they're going to start out slow, and then they're going to go as fast as they can, turning that cow in different maneuvers, different directions, and showing complete control over that cow.
How long do people work with the horses before they get to the competition stage?
Yeah, so our horses usually have about 3 years of training on them before they go into the competition. So these horses are very, very trained. They love the cows. They love working cows. So we have specifically bred horses that really like that cow work. So just similar to how you have certain dogs that are bred for different things, same with horses.
Okay.
So our horses, if you kind of think of like your wide receivers in football, your point guards, anything that is going to be the most active in the sport, that is going to be the reined cow horse.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're doing all of this as part of a rodeo?
So we call it a horse show, but it's
Okay.
very similar to rodeo. It's very high action. If you love horses, you're going to love coming out to this event. It's completely free, and it's in the air
It's
conditioning.
completely free?
Oh my gosh,
completely free.
where?
So at Westworld, over in Scottsdale. So completely free. Bring the kids out. There's free parking. We've got vendors, so you can do some shopping for some Western. If you want a cowboy hat or some cowboy boots, we've got you covered. There's great competition. We've got food trucks, and it's all in the air conditioning. So if you need a place to get the kiddos out and don't want to get too toasty during the day, come on over. We've got it all for you.
Well, that's really cool.
Wow, and what a great way to, kind of honor rawhide and the history of Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah.
With this, that's
100%.
actually really cool.
Yeah, and the really cool thing, we are an association for over 75 years. This has been a sport long time, and being able to kind of showcase it on this stage, we're paying out over $1.2 million over the next week and a half in prize money.
Wow.
Wow.
And we have everything from young kids. I think our youngest this year is going to be 9 competing, all the way up into people that are doing this as a hobby in their 60s and 70s. And then of course our professionals that get paid to do this and make millions doing this. So it's a really fun, you get to see all different levels, and you get to see some of the best cowgirls and cowboys in the entire country compete.
How did this become your thing?
Well, I grew up in the horse industry, so this is kind of a dream job for me, getting to share the stories of our athletes and our equine competitors. So that's kind of how I got into this.
Very cool. And you brought us some
belt
snazzy
buckles.
looking belt
Yeah.
buckles. Yeah.
You cannot have a Western competition without the prize belt buckle.
No.
So in addition to some amazing prizes from all of our sponsors, and some amazing prize money. Of course, we will have the coveted belt buckles for all of our competitors to go after. And, so it'll be a great event, and we're going to be super excited to see who goes home with everything.
So I know you said the fence work was like the most electrifying. Is that probably your favorite thing? Like, what's your favorite part of the whole event?
Definitely the fence work. So with NRCHA and the cow work, that is our prized possession. No other sport really does that.
Yeah.
So it's what makes us unique, and I think it's what stands our event out from any other Western event that you can go to.
So for people that are maybe new to this and have never gone to a horse show, what could they be looking for maybe to know if a horse is a good competitor, or like, I don't know, just share some tips of what people can expect.
So just like anything, you're going to see it on their face. They're going to have those ears forward. They're going to look like they love their job. And that's the part that I really love about my job, is I get to watch those horses all the time. But the other aspect is the crowd. The best part about cow horse is everybody else will be cheering, so you'll know when to cheer. Don't feel like you're going to stand out or anything like that. We're a really welcoming group, and most everybody that you talk to in the stands can also explain to you what you're watching.
Yeah.
But for anybody that's interested, go to NRCHA.com. That can get you exposed to what the sport is, how it's going to play out, and then also get you the schedule and figure out when you want to come over and watch.
And are the athletes, is this kind of their professional gig? Or are they
Yes.
working cowboys and then do this?
So we have all aspects. So we have working cowboys that come to town and they want to show their horse and see how well it stacks up. We've got people like you and I that like to do this as a hobby, and this is what they do instead of going to Mexico on vacation. And then we have our professionals that do this year round. They get paid money. People hire them to show their horses and compete. And that's going to be kind of the best people to watch. They're the most fun. They're the biggest, names in the business. So, just think of going to, a game you're going to want to watch LeBron over going to, maybe a non-pro team. So it's kind of the fun thing there to watch all of the competition for sure.
And that range of...
Sorry, I'm just like
100%.
watching the videos right now.
Yep,
Oh.
so that's going to be the herd work that I talked about
Okay.
earlier. So that is where they're going to separate that cow from the herd. That's the rein work, so you see them running really fast. And you're going to want to see that horse compete all those maneuvers really smooth. Big sliding stop here. So it's
Whoa.
fun to really watch these horses. They are just like big athletes. So if you think of any big professional, these guys get taken care of just like it, treated just like it,
Yeah.
for everything.
I have maybe a silly question.
Oh, no silly questions.
Are the athletes always paired with the same horse? Like, do they work together as a team?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of the people that you'll see competing, they've had these horses for multiple years even.
Okay.
That they've, trained either themselves or they work with a trainer if they're people like you and I that do this as a hobby. But yeah, you'll see these horses really longevity. We've got horses that are 18 years old. That in horse years, it sounds pretty young to us, but in horse years, that's
I was gonna say
60,
that's right.
years
wow,
old if
okay.
you think about it. And so you've got a very longevity with lots of horses from all different ages. I know a lot of people come in and they're like, oh, these horses are 4 or 3. That sounds so young to us. But in the horse industry, that makes them, like a college age basketball player.
Right.
So it's a very different age range that you see.
Okay.
But we've got everybody on both ends, on the human side and on the equine side,
That's
competing
really cool.
all throughout their life.
I'm so excited. This sounds
See,
so
and I
cool.
can't believe you didn't ask anything about if there's a miniature horse involved. I thought that was going to be your
Marshall knows
question.
I have an obsession with miniature horses.
Well, we don't have a miniature horse, but our horses are pretty small compared to other ones. So,
Yes.
so you might be able to find one that's the good size for you.
See, there you
I'll
go.
root for the smallest one.
Exactly.
Well, how cool. Okay, so one more time, I want you to look right in that camera and let folks know where they can find out all the good information about how to come
course.
out and enjoy this.
Well, if you visit NRCHA.com, click on NRCHA Derby, and you'll find all the information for the schedule. You can even check out the live feed, so you can watch a little bit of the competition before you head down to Westworld. But again, the event is completely free, and it runs through June 7th, so we'd love to see you out there.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much
Of
for...
course. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, this is
Yeah.
a blast. I'm so excited to come check out, I think,
Yeah.
my first horse show.
I think you should.
Yeah.
We'll definitely find you one that you're going to like and have a fan forever.
Ooh, yay.
I love it.
Cool. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this with things to do, celebrations, and, of course, a little history from
Of
my friend
course.
Marshall here. So keep it right here.
morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at
the fabulous Arizona Center.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, who knew?
And free. That surprises the heck out of me.
I
That's
mean,
really cool.
Free, and the fact that it's like 9-year-olds to 70-year-olds in terms of people, and kind of the same thing for horses.
I have to admit, the only time I've seen horses perform like that is at, again, I keep bringing it up, medieval times, where they do their fancy trotting and their little dances, and it's so impressive.
Well, I guess I know what you're doing.
Going to medieval times?
No, gonna go to
No,
exactly.
I know. Yeah.
So.
No, that would be cool. I would like to see that actually.
And you can find a small horse, not a miniature one,
I was
but
gonna say, they don't have miniature
but a
horses.
pseudo miniature.
Yeah.
Kind
That's funny though that she said that they were smaller than usual. I guess maybe to be agile like that would make sense.
Right.
You know, if you're a giant Clydesdale, you're probably not going to be doing
so as agile and being able to slide and.
Yeah.
But I mean, that video was so impressive. I mean, as they're like sliding and.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just
you
think
don't think of horses doing.
You know, me being slightly overweight, it's like every time I try to slide or do something like that, I'm like, oh, my body, my bones. And I think of a horse, you know, doing that. Like, It must not hurt though. I mean, that must just be what they're
just having fun.
Yeah.
Like, well, you know, I guess it's like that's how they're like, you know, like baseball players sliding into home plate and things like that. So.
Well, okay, good for you, horses.
Indeed.
All right, from horses to history, let's do it.
Let's go. So, you know, normally we try to focus on, I would say, like happy history.
We do.
But this is such an important, monumental moment.
It's
June
a massacre
2nd.
of some sort, huh?
Well, actually, so the name Don Bowles.
Oh.
So,
Today's the anniversary.
Yeah, so today is the anniversary of that. So back in 1976, Don Bull was a reporter for the Arizona Republic.
Yep.
And he was pretty much researching horse racing, mafia, and land scams. And so basically, he went to the Claren Hotel for a meeting where he was going to learn some important information. That wound up not happening. He went back out to his car. As he was backing up, his car blew up.
Yeah.
And it's talked about how there were buildings in the area that their windows got knocked out. People still talk about hearing that blast. And he survived for another 11 days. That the murder itself is still unsolved. There are people who went to jail, but also that he was as far as we know, he is the first American journalist killed in the line of duty.
Yep.
And so with that, yes.
Here, yeah.
And so with that, so many journalists from across the country came to Arizona to continue his work. Mm-hmm. And so it's still one of those things that's still unsolved. And so his car, from my understanding, is still sitting in a now a defunct museum in DC, waiting to figure out if is it going to come back to Arizona. So it's still one of those cases that people still talk about, still always have ideas on what happened. As far as we know, it hasn't truly been solved.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of theories about what happened. And working at the Republic, I heard a lot of memories, a lot of talk about this, so it definitely still lives on.
Yeah. And Richard Willis did a podcast.
Yes.
They found a bunch of tapes kind of tucked away.
Yeah.
And so they started playing some of those. That was fascinating. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where it's like there are still things being found that date back to that 1976 event.
Yeah.
And so not a happy moment in
and
history.
And by the way, happy 602 day.
I know. I was like, wow, how unfortunate that happened.
No, it's an interesting story, though.
But I mean, it also really kind of highlighted how much, at that point, there was mafia connections in Arizona.
Oh, there still is.
And there still are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there definitely still is.
So we typically just don't go down that path of talking about.
And you know what? We took a nice little detour, and we're just going to come right back to celebrations. Let's celebrate, Marshall.
Exactly. sometimes things come full circle. So in the 60s, you would have had somebody following the dead in their Volkswagen bus.
Okay.
And you can now go to a dealership today and buy a brand new Volkswagen bus because it is Volkswagen Bus Day.
And they did. They unveiled their new one.
Yeah.
They're very square.
Yeah.
They're very boxy.
I know. I was kind of surprised they didn't stick more to the true lines of kind of like they did with the
I don't know
Beetle
how I feel about
of playing with that. I mean, I still think they're cool.
They are cool, but yeah, I don't know. That it's just a little bit of
and I think it'll be interesting to see how this does because now the new one's an electric vehicle.
I haven't seen very many out on the road yet.
I haven't either.
But I love all the colors. I think it'll be fun to see.
I haven't even been inside one yet. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were kind of icons of an era.
I still have a dream of converting an old one into a bookmobile. I think I will do that at some point. But when I have enough money to afford a bookmobile, or when
and then even like the Westfall, where you have like the whole top that pops up and everything else. So there's all kinds of old VW vans out there, and now you can get a brand spanking new one.
That's right.
All right. And then something you probably would enjoy is, there are many ways you can cook a chicken.
Yes, there are.
And if you put one on a rotisserie and spin it on heat, you could celebrate Rotisserie Chicken Day.
Says the vegetarian.
Exactly. I'm like, I've never had rotisserie chicken. There's been a lot of talk about how slow cooking really seals in the flavor and how, as opposed to deep frying, this is a much better way to cook it so it's healthier.
Yep.
And it still is supposed to be tender and juicy.
I'd actually pick up a rotisserie chicken almost every week to do like meal prep with chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, in so many places, it's like, it's just kind of once they put out all the rotisserie chickens, it's like they boom, 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 people just pick them off.
Yeah.
So, and then, in order to make sure you got your rotisserie chicken, you might want to leave the office early day.
Oh.
So, this is really to kind of highlight the fact that so many workers out there are working over 40 hours a week. And it doesn't matter whether you have a traditional job or even self-employed folks.
That's right.
Because we all know some of those folks that.
We sure do.
It's like some days it's a 40-hour work week, some days it feels like it's a 40-hour work day.
It's called life balance, though, friends. Seriously, take your vacation days. Don't stay super late every day at the office. Let yourself take breaks, relax, enjoy your time with family. There's more to life than working, I promise.
Yeah, and it was funny. The other day I wound up at the gym because I had a meeting, so I had to go really early. And I was surprised how busy the gym was, full of all these folks getting to work out before.
Well, that's what I have to do. Because if I don't do it in the morning before my day, I will not do it. Like, I will not feel compelled after a full day to be like, I'm just going to add on a workout now after my very long day.
I'm exhausted, and I'm going to go make myself even more exhausted.
I see, like, one of my friends, Christopher Sheffield, he'll, like, work out in the middle of the night, like, because he's a DP, he works odd hours and kind of does different shoots, night shoots and stuff. And yeah, like I'll see him post at like 10 p.m. getting in a workout, and I'm like, oh God, I've already been in bed for 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm like, 10 o'clock working out, no. So, and then, and you might need to do that workout to celebrate the next day, which is National Rocky Road Day.
Yum, that is one of my favorite ice creams.
It's like chocolate ice cream, marshmallows, and nuts all in one.
Yum.
So, you can celebrate by a bowl, by a cone, or a spoon and a container.
Heck yeah, that's how I do it.
So, it's a delicious thing to put into your mouth. And, people come up with all kinds of variations of throwing more stuff into it. But I'm more of a traditionalist. I'm just like, just give me the Rocky Road, and there you go.
I'm pretty much a traditionalist too, although I do like some caramel mixed in every now and then.
Living on the edge.
Yeah.
All right. So, are there things we could do around town that might involve ice cream or trivia?
Fill in, Robert. All right, so this is for all you little ones who have ever dreamed of being a princess. That's me. No. Princess Summer Camp at the Pink Teapot in Gilbert at 10:30 a.m. So this is truly a princess camp. It's 4 magical weeks of sparkle and fun. Each 3-day camp session is led by 2 enchanting princesses and filled with unforgettable memories of your little royal. Each day will include a themed craft, story time with the princess, science fun with a sprinkle of magic, music and dancing time, as well as princess etiquette lessons, games, and snacks. And then on the final day, each little lady gets a princess makeover and a fancy tea party.
I'm just thinking the tons of glitter that we'd be gone through for this
Can
camp.
I go undercover for this, like Miss Congeniality style? I want to be a princess and go to day camp.
You are a princess.
Oh, thank you.
So.
Maybe I should volunteer, although it's probably too late. Okay, so anyway, this does kick off at 10:30.
Or just show up and say hi.
It's $150 for the camp. It runs today through June 25th, and again, that is in Gilbert. So if you've got a little princess who wants to join in on the party, now is
Or
your
a bigger
chance.
princess.
Or me. I know, it doesn't actually say, oh no, I was going to say it doesn't say ages, but it does, 9 to 13. I'm out.
Or,
I am
you
way out.
could always do an adult version.
I should do that, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my, Marshall, you are so full of brilliant
So-
ideas. Love this. Now I know what I'm going to do while you're gone.
Oh, God.
Are you ready for all the
amount of
pictures?
tea that's going to be consumed with edible glitter in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Okay, we've also got, I was so excited I scrolled right through. I was like, I don't need to talk about anything else. Okay, we've got Broadway Bound, the musical theater summer camp at Desert Star Dance in Chandler at 1 p.m. So a lot of summer camps going on right now.
I was noticing a theme.
Yeah, well, 'tis the season.
Yeah.
If your kiddos love to sing and dance and they dream of being on stage one day, then they might want to check out this Broadway-inspired 3-day musical theater camp. They'll work on some popular vocals and learn jazz dance steps and creative movement at a professional dance studio. And then the last day of summer camp features entertaining performance that they will present for their parents. This is, again, ages 9 through 13, and it runs through today through June 3rd, and it's 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. daily and $120 for all 3 days. So there you have that.
Fun.
Okay, actually, we were just talking about this morning. It's Creative Pro Week 2025 at the Sheraton Grand at Wild Horse Pass. This is located in Chandler. Basically, Creative Pro Week is the world's best how-to 4-day conference to master the skills of design. So no matter your skill level, you'll learn techniques and best practices you can start using immediately to improve your productivity. This is a great place for designers, people that work in the Adobe suite, and it's a really welcoming community, actually. So tickets are pretty expensive. They start at around $950 and go on up to $2,500, depending on how many days you want to do and how many workshops and classes. And it's a full day of events. So it kicks off right at 7:30 in the morning, goes till 4 p.m. each day. So if you're a designer, that's probably right up your alley. And we mentioned we've got our 602 Day happening up on the 11th floor of the Arizona Center. That's right. We hope you'll join us there. But before you come join us, there's all sorts of places celebrating 602 Day. All of the businesses along Miracle Mile.
We'll be doing all kinds of things.
We've also got the Arizona Wilderness Brewing Company that has opened their new location in that area on the Miracle Mile.
And if you haven't visited that whole little strip on McDowell,
yeah,
I mean, it's growing. I mean, it's like after almost, I would say, like over a decade of work, of nonprofits bringing in people. It's like, it's really cool.
It's super cool. They've got tons of amazing local restaurants. They've got a really cool Jungle Box plant store, furniture store, a hair salon, and then of course Wilderness Brewing Company. They're going to be having specialty brewed 602 beer available for, you guessed it, $6.02.
Of course.
You do have to be 21 plus to
that makes
consume
sense.
said 602 beer. And they're going to be opening their doors at 11, and we'll be going until about 10 p.m. tonight for 602 Day. And we're going to round it out with another camp. This is probably more in line for you, Marshall. It's a teen cooking camp at Classic Cooking in Scottsdale at 2 p.m. So basically, you're just going to have tons of fun in the kitchen and meet some new friends. You'll learn some very basic things about cooking, as well as some advanced culinary techniques that you can wow your folks with later. And at the end of class, students get to eat what they make. So that's the best part right there.
That would indeed be the best part.
Yep. So it is runs today through June 6th. It's from 2 to 4 p.m. and it's $280. This is for kids ages 13 to 17, so a little older,
right.
Which makes sense. You're around kitchen knives and
electric
hot
things
surfaces and yeah. So there you have it. We've got a special treat for you, though. We've got Courtney in studio here to chat with you. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Courtney.
And welcome back to the morning show on this Monday, 6:02. We're happy you're here. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at the
fabulous Arizona Center.
And we have the fabulous Courtney Fae Long. Yay!
I know, and we have things to do.
Courtney brought us lots of stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to playtime today.
Yes.
Woohoo.
It's always exciting when Courtney comes in the studio because we never have any idea
No, exactly.
what we're going to get up
And she was like, do you want me to prep you? And I'm
we were like,
no. We'll just...
We like to be surprised.
Life is more fun with surprises.
Isn't it?
It is.
So what are we doing today,
So
Courtney?
last month, a viewer had written in, Samantha, and she said she's been with her husband for many years. They've both changed. They've lost the spark. And she was wondering, can they get it back?
Yes.
So that's what we talked about last month. Today we're going to talk about how to get the spark back.
Ooh. Okay.
And this is super fun. It's applicable if you're in partnership. I'm also going to share some great things for singles too, so stick around. This is going to be so good. And I want to share, first of all, when you're thinking about getting the spark back, it's important to know that the spark is there. The spark is there. It might just be buried behind what we call a heart wall. So if you'll please grab your bricks and hold them in your lap. It might cover your face. You
Both
might
of
just
them?
need one. Yes.
I was going to say, I'm like, wait a minute.
And as you can see, this is a heart wall made of bricks, and it represents the things that block out love. Where when we're in a relationship for a long time, we start to build up resentment, hurt, unmet needs, maybe even feel lonely. I know a lot of people feel lonely even when they're in partnership, and there can be this distance that we create. So a heart wall is kind of like an invisible wall that blocks the flow of love, and it hides our spark. Make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, so what we want to do is start peeling the wall back one brick at a time. And the way to do that is through a process called how to clear resentment.
Okay.
So we're going to start with clearing resentment, and then we're going to have some more fun playtime. Okay, so this is based from the Imago Relationship Therapy Institute. They recommend a process for couples for basically how to communicate with each other and have a deep conversation that clears out resentment from the past. So a lot of couples, they don't like these kinds of conversations because it can get heated, it can get uncomfortable. So I'm going to guide us through 4 steps to make the conversation as peaceful as possible. But just knowing that being real with each other about what we feel is so important, because we've got to clear out resentment, or else we're not going to get to the love and to the joy and the spark.
So I assume you have to be in a place in your relationship where you want to clear out the resentment. Like you're not forcing the other person or yourself to kind of do this, or
that's it, exactly. And you want to set it up ahead of time. You'll just say, to your partner, hey honey, I feel like it would be good if we had a clearing conversation. You don't even have to say the word resentment. That's kind of a heavy word, right? So you could just say,
I resent you.
I resent you. So how about we have a clearing conversation and schedule it actually? Say, can we do it this Sunday afternoon?
Okay.
So kind of keep it lighthearted.
Okay.
And you'll want to just do one person at a time, that's enough for the day.
Yeah.
So person A, whoever feels, hey, I've got something to clear, basically step number 1 is that you'll share gently and you'll use I language. So you'll first start by saying something like, when this happened, I felt that.
Okay.
You know, when you forgot my birthday, I felt unwanted, unseen. And you really focus on the feelings, because a lot of people go into blame, right?
Yeah.
You forgot my birthday. Oh my gosh, how dare you? No blame. You're just simply saying, this happened and I felt this way.
Okay.
And then you just both breathe. Person B is just listening. So after person A shares, now it's person B's turn. So then we go into step 2. So the step 2 is to mirror. Basically, you'll say, what I hear you saying is such and such, and you just repeat back what they said.
Right.
You know, you might reword it, or, you know, just say it how you heard it, and then you'll say, did I get that? Did I get that? Is there more?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that? So it's really just a process of listening. Step number 3 is to validate. So person B will just say, that makes sense. I forgot your birthday. I understand that you felt unseen. You know, you probably felt really sad.
Yeah.
So you basically just say, that makes sense, I get it. And then step number 4 is you basically keep validating and you empathize even more. And you just say, I can imagine that made you worry. You know, is our relationship even going to make it? How could I even forget your birthday? Does that mean I don't care about you? So you just kind of go deeper into imagining what the person might feel. And then an added step is you can ask, what do you need from me? You know,
Right.
How can we repair this? And what can I do better in the future to make sure this doesn't happen again? Or, you know, so really, it seems like it's just a really touchy-feely process, because you're really just getting into the feelings. But just person A feeling heard, that's pretty much often all that's needed to clear the resentment. It's kind of like we just got to get it up and out, and then it's clear.
But I think what this does too, with this kind of guided exercise, is hopefully it removes the reactivity. And so it's funny, because like I just learned something like this for a business class, a leadership class that I'm taking. And it's all about that guided listening process of, and it's different. It's saying like, I have an assessment for you. And then the person is supposed to listen, take that assessment, literally say, what I heard you say is blah, 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 blah. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this?
Yes.
And so what that does is it gets you in the habit of not immediately going, but I, you know, and wanting to defend those things. It puts you in that place of listening and actually kind of taking in what the experience was.
Yes.
And it's so, I think, counterintuitive for a lot of people, right? Because as soon as you feel like you've been offended, you kind of want to like, let me at them. Like, let me say why I did it, you know? Yeah. But that's not going to heal anything.
That's it,
Right.
because it's about the feeling. And even back to step 1, when person A shares, this happened and I felt this, you can even say, this is the meaning I made of it. I made up that you don't care about me. It's different to say, I made up that you don't care about me versus you don't care about me.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know what the other person is truly feeling. So it's really just about honoring that we have feelings, and we sometimes kind of make up a reality around those feelings that may or may not be true. But the feelings are just important to acknowledge. And this is part of intimacy. It's emotional intimacy, right? To be forthcoming with our partner about how we really feel. And it's, in my experience from practicing this, I think it's a scary process. I just want to say, you know, like we're so used to just presenting our best side. It's kind of hard, I think, to say, you know, I felt really hurt. It's a very vulnerable thing.
Yeah.
But it, oh my gosh, does it build a stronger relationship? It's so worth it.
I think too, because I do that a lot with my husband, where I say, this happened, and the story I told myself was,
Nice.
you know, so that way it's not saying, when you did this, you made me feel, it's this happened, and the story I created in my head was this, you know.
Yes.
And then that gives him the space to kind of say, no, that's not what I, you know, meant, or whatever.
Yes.
And so it's, you know, again, it's just kind of allowing that non-reactive space to exist for people to have a really true conversation.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. And in this case, person A gets to share, person B is listening. Another day, you can do vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe take a couple hours and then do vice versa. Then person B can say, well, when I heard you say this earlier today, this is what came up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really about taking that self-responsibility. This is just my internal world. The other person can't make us feel anything. It's just sharing.
Yeah.
Yep, and in a loving space. So once we clear the resentment, now comes this super fun part. This is where you get to imagine that you're just meeting your partner for the first time.
Okay.
No matter how long you've been together, 2 years, 20 years, 200 years, you might feel like it.
200 years. Sometimes it feels like it.
So just know that you have changed and evolved over time, and so has your partner, so has the world around you. So you're going to create a map to your heart and body for your partner.
Okay.
You're literally going to show them the map to your heart.
Okay.
This is super exciting. So for this, da-da-da-da-da, Marshall, will you do us the honor?
We have a map.
It looks like a big one.
It's a really big one.
Indeed.
It's a
because we have
treasure map.
big hearts.
Yes, it's the treasure map to your heart and to your
Well,
body.
hello, Melissa. You're hiding back
Sorry,
there.
we can't see you. Maybe we need to move these bricks. Okay, so what we're going to do for this treasure map is think about things in your daily life that turn you on or light you up.
Okay.
For me, it's flowers. When my partner surprises me with flowers, I get so giddy, just like so happy, and then I get to enjoy the flowers all week. So I'm gonna put on my treasure side of the treasure map, I'm gonna put flowers. Love flowers. I also love flirty texts.
Ah.
Flirty texts throughout the day,
Ooh.
just with my partner letting me know that they're thinking of me. So I'm gonna put that on here. And jokes and laughter. Just having fun, keeping things lighthearted. So for the viewers at home, what you're gonna think about are 3 things that turn you on in everyday life. Things you'd love to have more of in your partnership. Or if you're single, just things you wanna do with yourself. And you'll also think of 3 things that turn you on in the bedroom.
Okay.
So you'll essentially get out a map. You can order one on Amazon, or just get out, a poster board or piece of paper, and you'll put 3 things that turn you on in everyday life, 3 things that turn you on in the bedroom. I'm going to explain this a little more. I'll give you a chance to fill out yours. So I would say start with, or not start with, but just do things in everyday life that really light you up and turn you on. And the idea here is that we have what's called the dual control model of sexual turn on. And the dual control model says that our brains are wired that there's certain things that turn us on and excite us, and certain things that turn us off. It's kind of like driving a car. There's the accelerator and the brakes. And this model has been researched and it was made popular by the author Emily Nagoski in her book, Come As You Are. And basically we want to turn on the ons and turn off the offs. So when it comes to getting the spark back, let's just start with turning on the ons and making this really fun. And think of it like you're teaching your partner the map to your heart, the map to your body. Do you have yours, Marshall?
I do.
Ooh, okay, grab your tape,
Okay.
and then you can tape them on.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, I can't wait.
I got a problem.
I'm out of tape.
I can't wait to hear what they are.
Oh, I got my hair already taped to mine.
Aw.
Well, here, you want me to put one on, Marsh, for you?
I do.
And if you're doing this at home, you can use Post-it notes, or I've used index cards with pieces of tape. That's what I had. And again, you can
can I
get
borrow your
a
tape?
map and hang it in your bedroom, or you can just use a poster board or piece of paper.
Okay.
And if you have kiddos at home and you don't want them to see your map, just do a shared note on your phone. Something nice and private. Awesome. Okay, what did you put on?
So adventure, out there trying new things, laughter, and learning.
Ooh, I love
Very
that.
cerebral.
Like it.
Yes. And Melissa?
I put focused time together, a
Nice.
kind, thoughtful act of service,
Ooh.
and trying something new and fun together.
Ooh, I love that.
Are these in your daily life or in bed?
Both.
Okay, just checking. I was like, my, that's...
So this is the map again to your heart and to your body. And for some people, they really need their heart to feel connected to their partner before they'll even feel turned on in the bedroom. So it's just something to keep in mind. I mean, we all want to feel connected from the heart anyway. It's just also keeping in mind that if you're like, how do we get the spark back in the bedroom? Well, it's probably going to be through some of these everyday life kinds of things first.
Right.
And then you can also talk about, well, what's going to turn you on more in the
Amen.
bedroom.
Can I clap for that? I want to clap for that. Yeah.
And always positive reinforcement. So if there's something that does actually turn you off that your partner's doing, it's not good to say, hey, I don't like it when you do this. It's better to say, I really like it when you do this, and just share the opposite of that other.
Redirect.
Yeah.
Redirect, exactly. Yeah, so this will get the spark back, and it is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. Our spark isn't just an on-off switch. It's more like a slow burn fire that we just build up and keep putting the logs on. So just do this and take some time to do it and make it fun and return to it as often as you can.
I love it. Such great tips, and what beautiful ways to visualize. I love that. So thank you so much, Courtney, for
You're so
teaching us
welcome.
how to get our spark back in relationships or with ourselves even. And Courtney, why don't you let folks know where they can follow you, learn more about you, maybe even work with you?
Yes, absolutely. My website is CourtneyFaeLong.com. And also my TEDx talk just hit 500,000 views.
Woo! Congrats, girl!
Wow.
So you can check that out on YouTube. Just search for TEDx and Courtney Fae Long. And then I'm on all the social medias as Courtney Fae Long, except TikTok's Courtney Fae 222.
What?
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
And I've got, if you go to my website, I've got several free gifts. So go grab those gifts. They're super hot and fun. And also, I want to invite you as the viewer to write in questions. So this was all sparked. Spark, get the play on word. All sparked by Samantha's question. So please write in your questions about love, sex, and dating, or just how do you feel happier in life? How do you feel more creative, confident? Because it's all related.
And Courtney is such a safe space, so truly, if you do have any questions, you can more than feel welcome to reach out to Courtney or to us with those questions. My husband, Pat, always loves when Courtney's on, so I'm sure he's going to text me later and be like, what did you learn from Courtney today? So this will be really good Monday for him. All right, well, that is our show. Happy 602 Day. We hope to see you later at 5
Indeed,
o'clock.
we got to go get busy to get set up.
We gotta get ready to
602 Day
party.
and all the fun that's going to ensue.
Yeah, so we hope to
Woohoo.
see you there, and if not, we'll be back with you bright and early tomorrow.
Maybe not chipper, but...